Assassin's Creed Shadows has a lot of secret legendary weapons and armor that make up some of the best gear in the game, and they're hidden in some of the most random locations you could easily miss. I tried to include weapons and armor you can get early as well as mid and late game, but don't forget the reason the early weapons remain the best is because you can upgrade them at your forge in your hideout. This lets you match them to whatever level you are currently at. Let me know down in the comments what your favorite weapons or armor are. But one of the best weapons in the game is the legendary katana Bloodshade. And you'll see this is one of the katanas with like the serrated edges. Typically, these have bleed buildup. If you look at the stats there, the bottom stat has 18% bleed buildup. And the engraving that comes with this knife is pretty crazy paired with that bleed because it makes it so that affliction buildup is not lost over time. Affliction is basically anything affecting the enemy, bleed or poison for example, so paired with the bleed in itself is pretty crazy, but if you want you can use this engraving now on any other legendary weapon, like ones that give poison. You can get this right at the beginning of the game, like it's in the first region of Osaka, just to the west off of the coast, and if you're coming here later you can come from any of the different coasts. There's boats everywhere. If you had to, you could swim, and by the way, if you see an NPC driving a boat, you can commandeer that boat, you just have to swing at them first. It doesn't let you like push the option to take the boat unless they're running away for whatever reason. But you can take this all the way to the castle ship, this giant like man-of-war looking ship, armored up to the dang gills. You can come here, take out the enemies if you want. You don't really have to take out anyone if you didn't want to. I went ahead and took out pretty much everyone, but you just need to go to the uppermost floor, the second floor of the boat. You can head up there using the ladder on the first floor or the window upstairs that you can climb up to. And inside you will find the hidden legendary chest that grants you the legendary Bloodshade Katana. Along with a katana that lets you take out enemies through shoji panels by using the level 1 knowledge skill in that same assassin mastery skill tree, the double assassination perk becomes available at knowledge level 2 while using a tanto. If you're using Naue, this makes like the #1 stealth weapon to carry with your katana, and one of, if not the best in the game, that you can get extremely early on, and it's called the Egan Sunset. Not only are its stats awesome, but it comes with the engraving that lets you slow down time on an escape strike. If you don't know what an escape strike is, go into your mastery in the tanto tree, and it's a skill that you unlock at knowledge rank 2. This just makes it so that if you're holding one of your heavy attacks, you know on PC it's shift plus left click or just hold left click for the 2 different heavy attacks. If you're holding that and then press the dodge key, the default PC key is Alt, it'll perform your strike and then quickly dodge. Not only is this a really good skill in itself, but this engraving makes it so that it slows down time when you do that. And it's an extremely easy skill to perform, and it's a passive skill. There's no like set amount of these that you can do. It's actually kind of insane. Just like the katana, this legendary tanto is extremely easy to miss and is not marked on the map. However, you will get a small red marker for the camp when coming here, just to the northeast of the katana and directly north of the Broken Shrine fast travel point in Izumi Foothills, just outside of Izumi Setsu. There are 3 enemies in the camp, and after taking them out, just head inside the left side hut where you can find the hidden legendary chest. The only tanto I might say is better than that is the Yukimitsu's Revenge, a legendary tanto that gives 18% poison buildup, which is just monstrous since poison is probably the best affliction in Shadows since it damages enemies and stuns them. But the engraving, afflicted enemies are vulnerable, does exactly what the title says, it makes them vulnerable. Vulnerability is the same thing as when you get a perfect parry or dodge and the enemy starts glowing. They're just standing there open for attacks and take even more damage. If you toss on an extra engraving that does even more with vulnerability, like the crit chance on vulnerability, this makes for some insane damage. This one really isn't as much of a secret because it's given to you as a reward, but I didn't find this tomb that rewards it to you for quite a while in the game, but it's located over here towards the top of the map in Yamashiro, the ancient tomb of Nanjo. This is probably the most you have to do for any of the weapons or armor in this video because it's a pretty elaborate tomb, but just follow along. The only thing I highly recommend doing is going into your settings and going over to your brightness and just max that freaking thing out because it's dark as crap in here. I had mine already brighter than normal and I couldn't see anything half the time. The only times I got lost or didn't know where to go is just because I couldn't see the path of where to go. But when you first get in, you'll see a chest. It's completely random loot. You continue on, drop down into the water, and then just continue on straight down the path. Once you come to the next drop point, just drop straight down and you're going to take a right. Again, same kind of situation. You take another right at the next set of doors here. The paths in here are pretty linear. You really don't have to like do much thinking for them. You just keep going basically. Drop down into the next set of water, and if your screen is dark, you probably will not see this hole, but just outside of the water is a crawl space that you can crawl through to get to the next area. I didn't mean to like mount this wall here. You just take a right. The pathway is kind of hard to see. But then just drop down into the next thing of water. You actually don't have to. You can go off to the right if you wanted to, but I'm going on the left side here. And it would not let me like climb up. The climbing in here can kind of be annoying sometimes. But then just drop down to the next path. And instead of going left through those doors, you're just going to continue on straight. If you look to your left, you'll see like a lit up passage there. To get up there, you have to go on the right side. I don't really think there's any other option. And then once you get up there, there's a chest through this passage here. I'm not going through there for the sake of the video, but if you want some loot, I think I got like epic gear there one time, but it's completely random. Then just take the rope across and go through the next doorway, where once you get to like a big puddle, you can start climbing up. This is another thing I could not barely find when my screen was dark. But then like our final set of doors, your last like optional path, you can go ahead and loot this chest if you wanted to, and then take the left hand side door. Again, if your screen is really dark, you probably will not see this crawl space. It is incredibly difficult to see where you're going if your screen is dark. I don't even, like, I mean, it shouldn't even be an option to have this place this dark. But yeah, the rest of the path is pretty linear. Just follow me. You'll eventually swing across a rope and then squeeze through a crevice in the wall to find your legendary chest and complete the Tomb of Nanjo. Way over in Omi-Ibu Highlands, just to the east of Lake Biwa and just beside Nagahama, is a destroyed tower. This is where you'll find a hidden chest containing a legendary Kusarigama called Featherstorm. This basically instantly charges posture attacks or heavy attacks whenever you hit multiple enemies, which is pretty easy to do with these weapons. But yeah, just follow exactly where I go and you'll get Featherstorm. If you come all the way down to the Key region and over to the Mount Koya fast travel point at the bottom of the map. And again, you can come here anytime you want. If you're at the top of the fast travel point, just head back toward the base of it, and just under it, lying next to like a Ronin's body, is a row of bamboo shoots, which, by the way, whoever decided to plant bamboo in front of their treasure chest is a genius. But this is where you'll find yourself the No Master Stroke mask. Easily one of, if not the best headgear for Naue in the game, really. Not just because of how dang cool it looks, but because it gives you 20% of an adrenaline chunk for each buildup of affliction. Adrenaline, if you didn't know, is how quickly you get your abilities back, so combined with a weapon that is dealing something like poison or bleed damage, it's pretty dang good, and we just went over some of those that give you those affliction damages. What's even better is that the corresponding armor, the legendary No Master Stroke robe, makes it so that affliction spreads when you get a kill. You get this robe or costume from just southwest of the mask's location. Going through the mountains here is pretty rough, but just head southwest of that viewpoint in the Key region, and there's a long walkway once you get here. Just follow the way that I go. It's not incredibly difficult, but it is kind of easy to miss. At the very top there is where you will find the No Master Stroke costume. Toward the start in Izumisetsu, you can find a legendary chest on this middle island area, Ogura Pond, and at Ogura Peak, the fast travel point, is a legendary chest hidden just up the stream here, which gives you a legendary trinket called Tatsu's Triumph. This gives a 2% increase to tool damage for every mastery point you have in tools, which is a decent enough bonus early on, but clearly as you level up it gets stronger and stronger. The Tools on Kill engraving gives you a 50% chance to get a tool back whenever you use it, basically giving you unlimited kunai because you can still loot the original one that you threw from the enemy's body, which is pretty dang sweet. The only thing is that you have to actually kill the enemy to get the tools back. So in the assassin tree, obviously these perks help a ton, as well as any engravings that knock off extra health from kunai. You get this Tools on Kill engraving from assassinating Takahashi Saburo, which I believe you unlock while following the Issei Sadoki main objective. I'm pretty sure that was the guy. During that, I was assassinating Inosichi, another target, when two other targets that I needed to take out approached me at this same location, and one of them was our other target, Saburo. Assassinating him rewards you with the Tools on Kill engraving that you can apply to trinkets, like the legendary one we just went over. The last dance of the Onryo robe gives you the ability to cheat death once per enemy encounter. This is a pretty early level armor. I got it at level 19, so it matched my level 19. It doesn't really matter what level you get it at, but you can get it whenever you want. Just come up here southwest of Obama in the Osaka region. You'll find it here at the grave of the 3 emperors and a very well hidden legendary chest just underneath this giant shrine inside of a bush. This is one of my favorite looking armor sets in the game. I mean, it's just really dang creepy. It doesn't really tell you this, but if you get into a fight and die, you want to run away and escape combat for a minute, and then start fighting again once you've gotten out of combat. This is because the armor's perk only works once per fight, and then it's given to you again once you escape or get into another encounter. Those 8 seconds of invincibility can really just be used to make sure you make it out of there alive. That's probably the best way to stay. The matching mask isn't as great with the engraving to give you 5% health after using an ability. Really not that crazy of a skill or engraving, but it just looks really cool and is part of the same last dance of the Onryo set. So I mean, you kind of gotta get it. You can grab it from just north of our last location in Osaka, again, directly south of Obama, or I guess sort of southwest. And if you come here, you'll notice a cave kind of hidden in the forest. It's really easy to miss unless you're paying attention to like map markers. Once you enter, just if you have night vision goggles, put them on and you can make your way down to the bottom where you can squeeze through a crack where you will find one enemy. I think he's a Ronin. If you're not a very high level, this guy might be kind of tough because this is like a level 29 area, I think. But then you can go ahead and open up the legendary chest to find yourself the legendary mask. Easily the best katana in the game for Yasuke at least. Possibly the best weapon for him as well, just in general, is the turquoise Zephyr. Whoa, Yasuke, don't bring out the 9. Look at that thing glow. You can get it pretty dang close to the start, where you start in the game, in Yamashiro, just southwest of the town, or really just next to Shoryuji. There's one of Naoe's meditation points near here, her side activity, and near the, Torii Gate, you can just head through there, near the broken bridge, drop on down, and you'll find a legendary chest containing the turquoise Zephyr. This legendary katana lets you push back enemies whenever you parry them, which in itself is really dang good, especially if you're near a ledge. And I think parries are obviously one of the best things to use in this game for combat. But just the sword itself, I guess long katanas in general, any legendary long katana, just does so much dang damage, dude. These guardians, I think they're a couple levels above me too, just get shredded. I think it's almost arguable on like what the best weapon type is for Yasuke, but long katanas might be number 1. The only weapon that I would put close to it is a Naganata, and the best Naganata I think that's in the game from all of the testing that I've done compared to the other legendary ones is the Lengthened Horizon. This is one of the only ones with like a straight blade on it too. Usually they just have like one side that's sharpened, which makes it pretty unique. Its legendary engraving instantly charges posture attacks or heavy attacks whenever you click the corresponding posture attack button on a hit. So whenever your blade hits an enemy, if on PC for example, a heavy attack is a left click, if you tap left click when it hits an enemy, it'll instantly charge your posture attack. Even without this engraving, just the weapon itself is crazy because Naganatas just shred through enemies and it's easy to hit multiple at the same time, making it not just the best weapon type, but up there, like I said, tied with the last Long Katana that we went over for best weapon in the game for Yasuke. You get this from all the way over in Miyazu Bay, pretty much all the way towards the top left-hand corner of the map. South of us was that fast travel point that's on the giant ship. And then if you come over to this like little peninsula, you will find a bloodied shrine. Usually you can pray at these. I think those are the ones that you can pray at. But behind it will be a legendary hidden chest. This gives you the lengthened horizon legendary weapon and the instant posture on timed hit engraving. One of the best sets of armor, maybe not number one for Yasuke, but definitely up there, is the Defense Master set. Both the Defense Master clothing and the Defense Master head wrap. The head wrap allows you to slow down time after a successful dodge, so if you're using the katana we went over, you push enemies back when you parry them, and then slow down time when you dodge. Either one of these is a really powerful engraving to have. Plus, I just really like how the head wrap looks. The Defense Master clothing, the outfit or armor, restores 10% of your health on the next hit after a parry. So you parry someone, and like I said, we push them back with the sword. Once you hit them, you get 10% of your health back. This isn't really like a build video, but if you use all of the gear that I'm going over, it makes you really freaking powerful because you can play aggressively, or with this armor also play defensively, play it safe and just parry whenever you can, and you're pretty much unkillable. You get the Defense Master head wrap. Again, not too far from Izumi Setsu at the Miki Castle outpost or whatever, where you take out the Daisho samurai in Miki. There are 4 samurai here, a pretty large castle. Not the biggest, but there's a decent amount. I feel like people don't know this, but you can right click, or I think it's probably L2 to zoom in. You know how you see loot glowing? And if you're trying to find samurai or lost letters, I didn't know this worked on samurai though for the longest time. They'll highlight silver or white so that you can easily find them behind walls. But also, here you go, I've marked every location for the samurai at this place. If you come west of where we got the mask at, the head wrap, you can grab the Defense Master clothing outfit from the next castle in Himeji, not very far away at all. And this castle actually has 5 Daisho Samurai, one of the larger castles in the game. Like I said, either zoom in and see the white glows to see where the samurai are. The only one I had trouble with here that took me forever to find was the very last one, who is located towards the top of the fast travel point, the head of the castle. I seen silver glowing in there, but I just figured it was some type of other chest. Typically, I think the legendary chest glows silver as well. But if you go to the roof and head down the hatch, if you didn't know you can enter these hatches, I also didn't know that for a while. They'll take you into the attic, and then you can head down and assassinate the final samurai. This is like one of the more obscure legendary chests, because typically they're like all the way at the top of the tower. But a couple floors down, towards like the middle of it, you'll find the legendary chest. And then here we are with Yasuke's final weapon, a legendary bow called Blush of the Earth. I think it's important to have a close range weapon as well as a long range weapon, and you could go with the Teppo. The guns are extremely powerful. I just really hate the reload speed. And I think the best bow in the game is the Blush of the Earth, because it adds 5 extra seconds to the Extend Clear Mind skill, which already gives you a default of 10 seconds that you can slow down time. So now it's 15, plus you can increase it with other perks and stuff like that. You get it by coming over to Makino Kurumazuka Coffin, the ancient tomb. This is like the first ancient tomb you will run into in the game, so obviously you can get it pretty early, but you need to come here as Yasuke, and then once you get here, pick up one of the explosive like vase jar things and blow up the wall. I'm not going to do an entire walkthrough on how to do this tomb. I think it's one of the most simple ones in the game as soon as you realize you can pick these up. But that is pretty much it. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe if you want to see more Assassin's Creed Shadows videos. I might make more on Shadows, I'm not really sure, but just let me know down in the comments if you're interested in that. See ya.